Tigers are down to the Elite Eight. 4 in the East, 4 in the West, vying tonight for a spot in the Final Four this weekend. Tonight, one of those spots will be claimed in the Eastern Regional Finals. We are live in Cary, North Carolina for West Shore Home High School Hoops, presented by Air Experts Heating and Cooling. The 3 seed Panther Creek hosting the 15 seed Chapel Hill Tigers. Hello once again, everybody, and welcome to playoff basketball. Patrick Keenis alongside Jay Sonhalter, and Jay for Panther Creek, the 3 seed. 4 losses this year, many early in the campaign, only 1 to a school in North Carolina. Chapel Hill struggled a bit down the stretch. They've gotten hot at the right time.
Yeah, they've gotten hot, and Chapel Hill comes in with a lot of height and talent on their side, but Panther Creek, they've steamrolled through their schedule. It was a tough schedule, especially early on, but the way they've been going through the playoffs, they've been clicking on all cylinders.
All right, let's take a look at some of the key players we're focusing tonight. First off, for the Tigers, an outstanding young talent.
One of the top juniors in the state. She's committed to Illinois in volleyball, but in basketball, 24 points per game. She does it all. She can shoot it from the outside. She's very unselfish. She'll get her teammates involved, but she can shoot from all 3 levels. And they're going to try to get her the ball all over the court tonight. Over on the other side for Panther Creek, Olivia Tucker is the best defender for the Catamounts. The defensive end, she's so fierce, she's competitive, she's a worker. She averages 17 points per game, and she's a college prospect as well, only a junior. But this is a balanced group for Panther Creek, and she's one of the main leaders.
All right, ton of scoring in this Catamount team. Jay, let's swing now to the keys to victory for both the Tigers and Catamounts. Who gets by and how?
Well, Chapel Hill is going to face pressure tonight. They have to limit their turnovers, and then the key on the defensive end is stopping the transition offense of Panther Creek, who's going to try to push the tempo. For the Catamounts, they've got to defend the post. They've got to slow down Lainey Smith and try to front her, limit her touches, and then they want to play fast. They want to get out on the run, and they want to really turn this into a track meet.
A spot in the East Regional Finals for the winner tonight in Cary. It is Chapel Hill 23-7 against the 3 seed Panther Creek Catamounts at 26-4. Tip off on the way next. Back inside Panther Creek High School Gymnasium. Should be a good one. Into the Elite Eight. The Catamounts have danced their way into the 4th round of home court every round so far. They are the 3 seed, 26-4, unbeaten in their league. And the Chapel Hill Tigers, the biggest upset that we've seen in the bracket so far. 2nd round took down 2nd seed Hoggard by 6. Beat Athens Drive in the 3rd round, led by Lainey Smith, 23 points a game. The Tigers, the 15 seed. So Jay, should be a good one. The march to NC State and Chapel Hill gets a little bit more real as the days go by.
And for each team, such great years, but the potential of this being your last ball game, that's, you know, that fear, that pressure is going to put into play a competitive ball game tonight with your backs against the wall.
And competitive right off of the bat. A very heavy tie-up in the paint. And the basketball will belong to Panther Creek. And again, this is a pretty experienced Panther Creek team, couple of senior starters. This will be the final time they suit up on this gymnasium, as we had a look at the starting lineup, brought to you by West Shore Home. Convert your old bathtub into a modern and spacious walk-in shower in just one day, because the regional finals, whichever team makes it, will be on a neutral floor later this weekend as the Catamounts grab the early lead.
That's Kirsten Small with the bucket there. An important piece on offense, especially down low, and Chapel Hill able to break the press for an easy 2.
That's sophomore Ashton Beal with the first points of the night for Chapel Hill. Quickly, a 3-pointer is missed by Madison Jordan. Offensive rebound, then the shot blocked. And here comes Lainey Smith with a teammate out ahead of the pack. That shot slipped right out of the hands of Anna Newman, and it's out of bounds. It will stay here with Panther Creek.
Well, and Chapel Hill right now pushing the pace and trying to get an easy bucket in transition. Panther Creek, that's the focus here, to get back and limit those opportunities.
And there's the starting 5 for Chapel Hill, 23-7, 9-5 in their conference. Starting 5 brought to you by West Shore Home. Convert your old bathtub into a modern and spacious walk-in shower in just one day. About a minute gone by in the opening quarter, 2-all. And a lot of the eyes will be focused on number 23 in black and gold for Chapel Hill. The delivery inside to Ava Smith, a freshman 6'3" post with a twin on the team as well.
Yeah, and sister to sister. There's 3 Smith sisters on this ball club, and each are very talented. 2 freshmen that are D1 prospects, and Laney, the top player, is a junior.
And there is Madison Jordan knocking down the first 3 of the game. That's brought to you by Talk It Out NC. Talk It Out NC. Start the conversation. Reduce underage drinking. 5-4 lead for the Catamounts. Look at Danielle Sullivan in her 10th year as the head coach for Panther Creek. 22-6 last year, 10-2 in the COVID-shortened 21 season, but they've not gotten beyond the 4th round. They lost to Millbrook last year by 1 point in the 4th round. That still sits with them today.
Well, an opportunity this year from last year, use that as motivation. So many key players returning. They've got talent in the younger classes, but this is a really great group of juniors and seniors that she's been really getting to play so well together throughout the year.
Laney Smith takes the handoff, tries to create some space, attacks and got stripped. A steal away by O'Funnian of Panther Creek. The outlet ahead and the bucket from Olivia Tucker. 7-4 lead for Panther Creek, and again beating the defense down the floor. The fine once again to Ashton Beal.
Well, and that's what Chapel Hill has to do, protect the basketball, but make Panther Creek pay when they're pressing.
Quick 3 missed by the Catamounts. Offensive rebound dug out of there by O'Funnian, and a second opportunity for Panther Creek. But high tempo to this one early.
And the Tigers coming out in a zone defense.
Now that's going to go. The second 3 of the quarter for Madison Jordan.
She's such a good 3-point shooter, the best on the team, and she's comfortable from beyond the 3-point line.
Now that's going to be an offensive foul going against Laney Smith and Chapel Hill. And a terrific start for the Catamounts. Ton of firepower on this Catamount offense. Chapel Hill, meanwhile, relies so much on number 23, Laney Smith. 23 points a game, nobody else in double figures.
Yeah, and she really can control the paint area, but she can step out and shoot it. And for Panther Creek, a very balanced approach. Everybody gets involved. It's tough to slow down somebody, because if you slow down one member, somebody else will make you pay.
With deep position in the paint, with a shot, though, blocked away by Chapel Hill. Recovery by the Catamounts. And another opportunity for Panther Creek. Ball squirts loose in the paint and lands on the end line to the Tigers. There's John French, 6th year on the sideline for Chapel Hill. This is a program with very deep roots, but they've had to kind of rebuild over the last half decade to get back to where they were, which is vying for state championship year over year. Long skip pass. This is Scarlett Gilder, number 5. This is Ashton Beal. They'll go over the top. So Panther Creek, just 4 losses this year. All of them back in December. 3 of them were to schools in tournaments across the country. They lost twice to a high school from Ohio, once to St. Thomas Aquinas down in Florida. The only loss they suffered in the state of North Carolina this year was a couple of days after Christmas to Apex Friendship. Other than that, they've won 18 consecutive games and is blowing the doors off of teams in the postseason.
And St. Thomas Aquinas won the state championship down in Florida, and that schedule was designed to really develop the team early on. And you said it, when they got to conference play, and even some of their other non-conference games, they challenged themselves, and they just blitzed their opponents, blew out some of the top teams in the area.
That's going to be a foul going on Olivia Tucker. First foul on the Catamounts. And this is a team just 4 years ago that went 5-17, Panther Creek. That's how quickly they've been able to turn things around and now become a state powerhouse at the big school level in 4A. Here's Laney Smith. Get the score on the contest. She's going to draw a lot of attention defensively. The kick out to the opposite wing, and Lexi Smallin with the first bucket of the game. And it's a 10-8 lead for Panther Creek.
Smith felt that double team coming over and kept her eyes up. A good job moving the ball over to Smallin.
A rare miss in this first quarter for Madison Jordan, and that hit a foot and rolls right to a catamount. And here's Olivia Tucker. When they're crashing the offensive glass, and a Funyun will head to the free throw line for Panther Creek.
And this is a tall Chapel Hill team, but they're going to have to box out because Panther Creek has been relentless on the boards.
Media timeout. The jitters are gone. The winner heads to the East Regional Finals. Early lead to the 3 seed Panther Creek. All right, Jay, look inside the huddle for the Catamounts. There's Danielle Sullivan, the head coach for Panther Creek. 10-8 lead for the Catamounts, and she's done a tremendous job over the last few years to get this team constructed, really for this moment over the next week and a half.
Yeah, great coach, and the way she develops her team, how they play their best basketball at the end of the season, and the veteran players she has, the young players, just so impressed with what she's been able to do collectively with her team.
Had a little bit of a test in the opening round against the 30 seed Green Level, just a 4-point win. But outside of that, they've been nothing short of dominant. As a Funyun, it's at the free throw line for Panther Creek. And misses the first of 2 from the NC 529 foul line. Never too late or too early to start saving for education. Pretty good crowd on hand on this Tuesday night. Again, the winner heads to the East Regional Final. That'll be at a neutral site to be announced on Saturday. Funyun makes 1 of 2. Long tip pass. Was that double deflected? No. It will stay with Chapel Hill. Kirsten Small's got a fingertip on that one. I think for Chapel Hill, what we will see tonight, first off, a lot of double and triple teams against number 23, Lainey Smith, who throws it away. A steal by the Catamounts. Layup, though, is missed. And the Tigers grab the rebound. And a foul on Panther Creek. Good position by Lexi Smolin to get in there and take away the miss.
Good hustle back from Chapel Hill, but Panther Creek, we've seen it already early on, how quick they are, how they read passing lanes, and they'll jump in front. That's going to be a challenge for the Tigers, trying to set up their offense.
And Lainey Smith knows that she is going to be targeted, hemmed in, bracketed by multiple defenders. This is her with the basketball now. She'll need to be a very good passer along with a score. Turns it over for the second straight time. And here's Olivia Tucker on the pull-up. Yes, Panther Creek by 5.
Olivia Tucker's so smooth. Good decision there, pulling up for the mid-range jumper.
Now, Chapel Hill certainly does not want to get into a track meet game with the Catamounts, but we've seen them already a couple of times after a missed shot or a made bucket by Panther Creek, get down the floor quickly and try and beat them down the floor.
Yeah, they don't want the Catamounts to set up that press, and that's where they do so much damage on the defensive end.
And that is Zoe Smith, travels on the end line. So 3 consecutive turnovers now by Chapel Hill.
Panther Creek here, they get the turnover, and then it's off to the races, and Tucker, nobody comes up to guard her. Such a wise decision there, pulling up. And she shows her leadership in practice, in ball games. Such a solid player for this program, and Division I recruit, and coaches are tracking her.
Well, there's so much talent on this Catamount team, especially offensively. Taylor Barner's averaging 19 a game, and Tucker 17, Madison Jordan 15, and there's so many weapons. Off glass, no, and that's going to be a foul, trying to track down the offensive rebound on Panther Creek. John French took over for Sherry Norris, the longtime head coach for Chapel Hill. With the 2018 season, struggled a bit the first couple of years, beginning to turn things around now. And here they are back in the 4th round. Deep jumper rolls off. Another Catamount with fingers on that offensive rebound. And there's a takeaway by Panther Creek once again. The pass inside, broken nicely by Smolin and given right back to the Catamounts. And a big bucket by Taylor Barner, and John French unhappy with what he has seen. Too many turnovers and too many offensive rebounds given up right now by Chapel Hill. It is now 16-8 Catamounts.
And Taylor Barner, she's the top scorer, over 18 points per game for Panther Creek, and been recruited by Boston College, Seton Hall, East Carolina, St. John's, and NC State. She just jumps in the passing lane And the strength to her game is that outside shooting ability. Wide open look, and she takes it. Now Panther Creek starting to get on a roll, Patrick, using that defense to create opportunities on the offensive end.
Yeah, that's the real danger here for the Tigers on the home floor of the Catamounts, but they've just been too careless with the basketball the last 5 or 6 possessions.
And against a team like this that's going to pressure you, you have to protect the ball, make good decisions, and make sure you don't turn it over, but also you got to make good decisions with your shots, because this is a team that's going to swarm all around you. You have to find the open person on your team, and then with the double teams, make sure you take advantage of that help defense coming over and try to beat them to the hoop.
And stronger on the defensive glass means secure the basketball. And if that first look-ahead pass isn't there, don't risk it, because Chapel Hill will have to be really pitch perfect to take down the Catamounts here tonight. And right now, just giving up too many extra possessions to Panther Creek.
And the key here is you've got to beat the press, but when you get in a half-court offense, you've got to move the ball quickly. Do not let the defense come over and bring that double team over to Smith.
All right, Burnett will run the show. Here is Laney Smith. The dribble drive, attacking 3 of the 5 defenders. A little strong on the layup, and now the Catamounts want to run. Tucker snaps it ahead, and this is Barner on the baseline. Back to Tucker, knocks that one down. Another 3 by Panther Creek. That one brought to you by Talk It Out NC. Start the conversation. Reduce underage drinking. Just like that, the lead is double figures for Panther Creek. Another steal. Contact at midcourt. Foul on Chapel Hill's Smolin.
And Barner just taking over. Another turnover. I mean, she is creating so much pressure, and then it leads to offense on their end. But Chapel Hill, they've got to find a way to slow down the tempo, slow down the pace.
Inside the first quarter's final minute, 19-8 Panther Creek. It's a 9-0 run for the Catamounts. Tucker on the reversal to an open Barner. Another offensive rebound, and the drop in by Tucker. She has 9 in the quarter. So 11 straight now by the Catamounts. And that shot blocked underneath the glass, but body contact. It'll be a foul going on Kirsten Smalls of Panther Creek.
And the Tigers broke the press, moved the ball quickly up the floor, and that's what you've got to do. You can't allow the Catamounts to set up and bring those double teams over and trap you.
Madison Gilder at the free throw line. This is the first of 2. So one more coming from the NC 529 free throw line. Never too late or too early to start saving for education. A couple of free throws missed in what has been a throwaway opening quarter here for the Tigers. And they are on their heels after the first 8 minutes. Tucker penetrates. Extra pass to Barner. 5 seconds left. Partially blocked. Got it back. It would have counted had it gone. And that's the end of one. This was a 10-8 Panther Creek lead with about 4 minutes left in the quarter. Catamounts pitchers shut out the rest of the way and are plus 13 after 1. The winner to the regional finals. Ready to begin the second quarter of this 4th round 4A playoff game, and 4 3-pointers made in the opening 8 minutes for the Catamounts.
They've been on fire to start off this ball game. Really good first quarter. Come out with momentum here. Outside shooting ability was there, but it's that defense that really impressed me, the way they caused havoc and created turnovers.
Scarlett Gilder misses a 3 to open up the second quarter for Chapel Hill. This has been the dangerous area for the Catamounts tonight. There's the 3rd 3 of the game for Madison Jordan. 24-8. That's now 14 straight by Panther Creek.
Madison Jordan committed to Wake Forest, a top player. There's just so much talent with this team, depth, and they'll hit you in waves.
Catamounts can smell blood already. As Laney Smith, she needs to get involved. Attacks 2 defenders. Offensive foul. That's her second. And that is a supersized infraction against the Chapel Hill Tigers. Down by 16. Far and away your best player, now 2 fouls.
Yeah, just so much pressure on her. Double team comes over. Doesn't get the call, and now with 2 fouls, she's going to have to be careful. Good move, though, I believe. You got to keep her in the ball game. She just has to be careful.
And she's yet to score in this contest either. They need her on the floor badly. There's another one. Taylor Barner knocks down a 3. 6th of the game already for Panther Creek. Batted pass into the sideline. Defense not taking a play off either for Panther Creek.
Well, when you make that shot and then you set up your defense, you're playing hard on that end of the floor. It makes it so tough for the Tigers. There's no breaks.
Burnett nowhere to go. Gets the pass away. Laney Smith, high post. Again attacking. Blocked out of her hand. It'll stay with the Tigers, and Panther Creek is just really making her work so hard to even get near the rim on the dribble drives.
Anytime she touches the ball, someone's coming over to help swipe that ball away.
Once she got held there before the inbounds pass got to her, forces a jumper, missed it, rebound to the Catamounts. They have the entire Tigers team totally flummoxed here, and there'll be a tie-up as Gilner dove on it for Chapel Hill.
And right now, the Catamounts on a run. For Chapel Hill, talked about slowing down the tempo. They just have to kind of calm down here, get a couple good offensive sets, and then try to create turnovers, but box out on the defensive end.
Barner finally missed one, a long one. Here comes Smith in the open floor. This is what the Tigers need. Tough shot. Offensive rebound grab by Beal. So they finally got Smith in some space, and stepping on the sideline was Beal. It's a turnover again to Panther Creek.
Danielle Sullivan with that press. There's John French. 2 great coaches, great people, and what they've done with their program, so impressive.
Early stages, second quarter, 27-8 Panther Creek. This is Barner again. Clean looks, open looks, even from distance, and that's not going to be a winning formula for Chapel Hill. Smith again nearly ran past the dribble. Grabbed by one of her teammates, and the reverse by Anna Newman blocked away. And here come the Catamounts again. Tucker off the baseline. Chapel Hill's gone scoreless now for about 6.5 minutes. Contact, shot will not count. Foul on the floor against Panther Creek.
Scarlett Gilner, only a freshman. She's got so much potential. That was a smart take. She had an angle, knew that she could either get to the hoop or she's going to get a foul drawn, and nice job using that quickness to get around the edge.
Foul on Dixon. She heads to the bench. Deflected pass got inside, and finally, for the first time in almost 6.5 minutes, a bucket for Chapel Hill. That is Laney Smith's first points of the game.
Yeah, and nice job just battling down low. They're on fire.
But not even really an opportunity for the Tigers to feel good about a made shot. They give up another 3. That is the 7th made by Panther Creek. And a 20-point lead now for the Catamounts. That will stay with Chapel Hill.
Just love the way Panther Creek is being aggressive. There's no indecision. Once they get that ball, they are attacking all the way, or they're shooting the 3, finding the open member, and just doing a nice job with their decision making.
This was a 10-8 lead for Panther Creek about midway through the opening quarter. They have hit Chapel Hill now with a 20-2 run, including 17 straight. And now we get a hold on the Catamounts. Taylor Barner whistled for her first. Smith on the take. Locates her teammate on the opposite side. Gilner can't finish, and the Catamounts have it. They love the three-point line, especially when it's this unguarded. That is in and out, no good. Offensive rebound shot blocked. A third crack now for the Catamounts, and that one thrown in by O'Funnion's left hand.
Well, they're just relentless on the boards, and Chapel Hill has to box out. You get that missed shot, you cannot allow them to get another crack at it.
That's a blocking foul going on Barner. That'll be 2 quick ones on Taylor. This is already a really key spot here for Chapel Hill. You can't feel overwhelmed and like you're drowning here in the ocean without any kind of boats coming by to rescue you. If you can, chip away at this deficit a bit, pick up some confidence by halftime and regroup. Free throw missed by Smith.
Well, and here to close out the half, you have to gain that confidence in breaking the press. But you're right, you've got to chip away at this lead. You cannot allow the halftime break to come without you getting this ball game closer and feeling good about where you're at the break, and then you make those adjustments.
Baseline drive. Floater is left a little bit short by Tucker. We say this every possession, it seems. Offensive rebound for Panther Creek. Deflected pass, deflects off the knee into the backcourt. That'll be a violation on Panther Creek. I've not seen many turnovers by the Catamounts. Inside 4 minutes for the half. Timeout in Cary, and right now it is all Catamounts hoping to reach Saturday's Final Four regional final. Panther Creek by 22. Hey, Rounder fans, stay tuned for the myspot.nc.gov High School Hoops Halftime Report. First half highlights and a whole lot more. Visit myspot.nc.gov to find a free, safe, and effective COVID-19 vaccine for everyone 6 months and older. Well, Jay, this has been a really impressive first 12 minutes here for Panther Creek. What do you think the message was in the huddle for Chapel Hill right there?
Well, I think the big thing is, we've talked about limiting your turnovers. So, I mean, you got to get the ball up, beat the press. But once you get in a half-court situation, I just think you've got to move the ball. You can't be stagnant and try to limit these double teams. When the ball gets to Smith, she's got to either attack or pass the ball around the perimeter.
Tip pass does stay with the Tigers. And then jumper off the mark by Smullen. And Laney Smith runs it down in the corner. Open is Gilner. Getting on the glass this time, Chapel Hill does not pay dividends. 3 cracks at it. Seven made threes in the game so far by Panther Creek. Runner is missed. And trying to save Chapel Hill. And that was Eva Smith on the end line. So it sticks with Panther Creek.
And for Chapel Hill, they've got to have that confidence that, hey, we can go on a run. Let's get this ball game within 15 points by the time we get to the halftime break.
Tucker defers on the 3. Bounces a pass to Elfunian, who misses the jumper. And free throws coming up for Panther Creek. That's really important what you just said. There has to be a true belief of these Tigers that going into halftime, that on the other side, that they still do have a semblance of an opportunity to rally. And right now, just the body language doesn't indicate to me that they really believe that. Things can change here in the final 3 minutes, though. That is certainly what John French is hoping for.
They've had such an outstanding season, and they've done it all year long. And right now, on the road against a top opponent, you kind of come out here and, you're not really able to transition easily into this ball game, and Panther Creek is winning so far. You've got to find a way to fight back and punch back.
Well, Laney Smith has felt the double team coming on the baseline, try to throw out and threw it into the backcourt. We've seen a lot of that. They've just been bracketing her every touch, running 2 or 3 defenders at her, and just the passes exiting those traps haven't been there.
And Panther Creek plays such good defense. I mean, they're running their sets and going with those double teams, but the way they're really trapping, communicating, and staying low, playing together as one, they're very connected on the defensive end.
Feed deep to the inside, a shove in the back. That's going to go on Chapel Hill's Scarlett Gilner. So Gilner commits the foul. 33-10. This has now been a 23-2 run by Panther Creek over about the last 9.5 minutes. Limiting Chapel Hill to just 1 bucket by Laney Smith. That's been it. And that's tipped out. Stays with Panther Creek. The winner of this one will take on the winner of the top seed in the East, Hillside, and the 12 seed Rollsville. Lake Norman, the top seed in the West, playing tonight, trailing early against North Mecklenburg. Bucket to the inside by Elfunian. And there's another takeaway, and then a giveaway. Laney Smith to the hole. Nice finish.
Now, good take right there. She had the corner. With her length, her talent, she's able to finish.
Open 3 for Tucker. That's off the mark. And kept in bounds. Loose inside and a foul. Good look at the points in the paint. Brought to you by North Carolina Department of Public Safety. 10-8 advantage for Chapel Hill. So 10 of the Tigers, 12 points from there. And see EPS be a champion for victims. Well, the pressure on the offense for Chapel Hill that they're seeing from Panther Creek, you just can't simulate in practice. You can watch it, you can see video of it, but until you experience it firsthand, the speed and the energy from the defense, it's hard to simulate.
Well, you can tell they take pride in it and how hard they play. And this is a team that, you know, when they're coming at you, they have height, but they have quickness too. You know, the defensive end, so important to communicate. They're talking very well, making sure they're all in the right position.
And Tucker now into double figures. 2 already in double figures for the Catamounts. 37-12. A steal out at midcourt, and here comes Panther Creek. They are just relentless right now. Another bucket. That one from Tucker.
Turning those turnovers into offense.
And that one forged it to get through for Chapel Hill, and that one rattles in off of the baseline. Bucket to Lexi Smolin. But I mean, this is just a tsunami of pressure and points from Panther Creek. All right, stay tuned for the NCDHHS halftime report. Visit myspot.nc.gov to find a free, safe, and effective COVID-19 vaccine for everybody 6 months and older. Halftime show on the way. We're inside a minute. 39-14 Panther Creek. And they have just taken the soul of the Tigers away in the first half. Tucker's taking about 20 seconds off the clock. They will not hold for the final shot. Now when they have another open look from 3. And a defensive rebound for Chapel Hill. They snap it ahead. Broken up toward the side. Nicely anticipated by Olivia Tucker. 16 seconds left, Chapel Hill basketball. And now John French calling a play from the Chapel Hill sideline. In dire need of a bucket here in these final 16 seconds. So he puts it in the hands of his star, Laney Smith. Couple of fouls. Just 4 points the first half. The locator inside layup is missed by Beal. 3 seconds left. Panther Creek gets inside the half court, fires at the horn, just missed. And that's a microcosm of the first half for John French and Chapel Hill. Overwhelmed by Panther Creek in the first 16 minutes. 25-point lead for the 3 seed Panther Creek, 39-14. 39-14, Panther Creek leading Chapel Hill on their way, they believe, to a Final Four appearance in the East Regional Final coming up this weekend. You're watching the myspot.nc.gov High School Hoops Halftime Report. Now time for the Tatum and Atkinson Scholar Athlete of the Week.
Tatum and Atkinson is proud to present the WRDC Sports High School Hoops Tatum and Atkinson Scholar Athlete of the Week. From Chapel Hill High School, the Tatum and Atkinson Scholar Athlete of the Week is Anna Newman. Anna is a standout in varsity basketball and soccer, is basketball all-conference honorable mention, a member of America's team, and carries a 4.46 GPA. Anna is a Hart Scholarship recipient, is the Tigers in Action Secretary, and leads several community volunteer efforts. From Panther Creek High School, the Tatum and Atkinson Scholar Athlete of the Week is Madison Jordan. Madison is a McDonald's All-American nominee, ranked in the ESPN Top 10 at her position, and carries a 4.1 GPA. Madison is 2-time John Wall All-Tournament Team, the 2021 Conference Player of the Year, and is an AP and Honors student. Madison serves the community through Black Students Association, New Hope Church, and Carolina Flames.
Tatum and Atkinson is proud to be a sponsor of the Scholar Athlete of the Week. Congratulations to these All-Stars and good luck on your eligibility for a $3,000 scholarship at the end of the season.
Tatum and Atkinson, injured in a wreck? Call the heavy hitters.
17-point spurt by Panther Creek, bridging the first to second quarters, have now opened up a 25-point halftime lead, 39-24. You're watching the myspot.nc.gov high school hoops halftime report, and now we'll go to a special interview with the sales manager of West Shore Home, Jacob Wirtz.
I'm here with Jake Wirtz, the sales manager for West Shore Home. Welcome, Jake.
Hey, thank you for having me.
Why is it important for West Shore Home to partner with high school hoops?
Well, I think it goes in line with our core values of getting better every day. So throughout the season here, we're going to see all these student athletes, cheerleaders, even the parents themselves are going to be able to see their kids get better every day, and that goes in line with what West Shore is all about.
And why is it important for West Shore Home to be involved in the community?
A community is everything for us. In our eyes, you can't just be a company that goes out to people's houses and estimate projects. It's all about being embedded with the community. For instance, we just did a food drive to help the needy. We do other things throughout the year, Bass for the Braves, such things like that. It just kind of gives back to the community.
We really appreciate you being part of High School Hoops, and thank you so much for joining me today.
I'm excited. I can't wait to see what happens this year.
It's going to be a great season, won't it?
I think so. Basketball is awesome.
You're watching the myspot.nc.gov high school hoops halftime report. Visit myspot.nc.gov to find a free, safe, and effective COVID-19 vaccine for everyone 6 months old and older. Patrick Keenis, Jay Sunhalter, back at Panther Creek. It's been all Catamounts, Jay, as we take a look at some first half highlights. And these are not going to be the same highlights. They may resemble each other. 7 3-point makes in the first half for Panther Creek.
Yeah, well, the two takeaways is the defensive pressure, the press, all the turnovers they created, and then the three-point shot. They were on fire from the outside, everybody getting to act, and they knock down a three, and then they get right back out there, and they press. And everybody had the touch in the first half, getting involved. The ball movement was high level, and they really just came out here and hit Chapel Hill with that opening punch. And then the Tigers have had trying to find a way to climb back the mountain, but there hasn't been any let up from the Catamounts.
I mean, look at that turnover story as well. 12 for Chapel Hill, just 4 for Panther Creek. Barner made a couple of threes. Tucker made one. Madison Jordan made the other 4. Halftime score as Panther Creek on top of Chapel Hill, 39-14, winner to the East Regional Finals on Saturday. Well, ready to begin the third quarter from Panther Creek. All Catamounts so far. The 3 seed just beaten 4 times this year and only once by a school in North Carolina. 39-14 lead over Chapel Hill. Jay, as we get ready for the third quarter. And look at Daniel Sullivan, 10th year head coach for the Catamounts. You want to keep your team focused. Imagine it's a 0-0 game. All those adages the coaches will use when you're up big to try and maintain focus.
Well, I think for them, let's not let up at all. Come out here, play the full ball game, and let's focus on ourselves, play with that same intensity. And she's going to be very pleased with where they're at. For Chapel Hill, the goal has to be this first 5 minutes, we need to come out, make a statement. Let's get back into this ball game. But we've got to come out, be the aggressor, knock down shots, and create turnovers.
And meanwhile, Chapel Hill did not leave the locker room here in Panther Creek until the game clock was under a minute for halftime. They didn't get a single shot up coming out of halftime. So the message was long, but the result similar. Turnover on the first possession. Good little jump stop fake by Taylor Barner. And the easy bucket for the Catamounts off the Chapel Hill turnover.
And she is so good. Catalyst on the defensive end, and very similar to the first half here, coming out with the press.
So here come the Tigers. This is Lainey Smith, their top scorer. Got an early foul trouble. A nice delivery to the inside. And the bucket to Eva Smith. She has 4. 41-16 Panther Creek.
Both sisters, they're going to work down low.
Quick 3 missed by Tucker. Lainey Smith the rebound. And that's an offensive foul on Smith. She can't believe it. Number 3 on Smith. Just on the takeaway, dribbled right into the sideline, and there came another Catamount. It's the second offensive foul against Lainey Smith in the game. She didn't come out with 2. She won't come out with 3. As a matter of fact, she may not leave the floor until if and when she fouls out. She is that vital to the Tiger team. Smalls lost the handle right to her teammate, and we get a foul And Lainey Smith was down there, but I believe it's going to be Ava Smith committed the foul here for the Tigers. And it's number 2 on Eva Smith.
And for Lainey, she's committed to Illinois in volleyball, the top basketball prospect as well. Only a junior, averaged at 24 points per game, and she's had such a great season this year, and she's on everyone's scouting report.
First of 2 made by Madison Jordan at the NC 529 free throw line. Never too late or too early to start saving for education. 14 for Jordan now. Tucker has 13 points. And Taylor Barner with 8. And another turnover by the Tigers. They play it ahead. Tucker finds the trailer. Jordan on the sideline.
Wow.
Book it. 5th 3 of this Elite 8 contest for Madison Jordan.
And Jordan got that turnover, passed it ahead, and kept working. Got rewarded with an open shot. And she's been so good from the outside shooting the basketball.
And Chapel Hill wants another timeout. 46-16. The lead now has bloated to 30 with 6:42 left in this third quarter. So there's John French again. He's still coaching his team up here down by 30. And again, you never stop coaching. You never stop teaching. You're trying to keep the psyche of your players elevated as much as possible. But you know, for a lot of these players, this is the game they've been waiting to play for 3 or 4 months, and in some cases 2 or 3 years for this moment. And you hate to have an outcome like this on such a big stage.
Well, they're playing such a talented team, and coming out here with a young group for Chapel Hill. You know, now you've got a huge deficit. I think it's just about, hey, let's focus on what we can control, and let's clean up some mistakes and play our brand of basketball.
And there's a spot throw in, and there's a turnover on Chapel Hill. Things have gone from bad to worse. Ashton Beal on the spot throw in could not move, but she did. And the official saw it. Turnover on the Tigers. And now a lob into the paint, tipped away and stolen by Chapel Hill. This is Anna Newman. Hemmed in down low and got it out front to Gilner. And I think if you're Chapel Hill and John French, I mean, the outcome of this game is pretty much already determined. You haven't really seen your team look like they're having fun out there tonight. I think maybe the message is, hey, go enjoy yourselves.
Right.
You've had such a great year. Things may not turn out the way we wanted, but put some smiles and just put some good possessions together and enjoy yourself on this stage. That shot missed. Rebound off the hands of Beal. Stays with Panther Creek.
Well, this is such a young group. I mean, this is a deep run they're on and going against an outstanding Catamount team, but a group that's going to be back for years to come, and they're going to get a taste of it here tonight. But you're right, they need to come out here, have fun, and just do the best they can and know, hey, we're going against a juggernaut right now.
Yeah, Madison Jordan makes her 6th 3 of this contest. 49-16 Panther Creek. And point well taken. There are a couple of seniors on this Chapel Hill team, but Brooklyn Harker has been out with an injury. Camille Swan doesn't play a whole lot, and Anna Newman is their only senior starter. So you're right. I mean, this is a team not just built for this year, but they're going to have all of their key players back next year and hoping to make a deeper run and get past this 4th round.
Well, for a young group, 24 wins this year, only 7 losses. 23 wins, excuse me, but a group that's here in the 4th round of the playoffs had an impressive run so far to this point with these underclassmen. I mean, the future is bright.
They played inside Ava Smith. And a tie-up. Catamount basketball. They just will not stop, right?
It's unbelievable effort. And that was Madison Jordan again. She's knocking down all these threes. And over on the defensive end, she's just as dominant.
I mean, they are following the game plan. Up by 25 at half. They're playing like they were down by 8. And the defensive intensity has not waned at all from the first half of the second, despite now being ahead by 33 points. That is saved by the Catamounts right into the hands of Jordan. She finally missed one. And that's out of bounds. Chapel Hill basketball. 4 Catamount defenders in the backcourt here. But this is the style with which they play. Driving layup missed by Eva Smith. Rebound to the Catamounts. And trying to extract that basketball. In there was Gilner to kind of mix it up. Good effort there by Chapel Hill. A reminder, Scholar Athlete is brought to you by Tatum and Atkinson. Injured in a car wreck? Call the heavy hitters. We thank them for their partnership across high school hoops this year once again. Nice bucket there by Zoe Smith, her first points. Catamounts by 31. And again, the winner of this game will take on either the top seed Hillside or the 12 Rollsville. That will be at a neutral site on Saturday. And then the winners from the West and East regions will meet at NC State Reynolds Coliseum for the state championship a week from Saturday as Tucker buries her second 3 of the game. That is 10 now by Panther Creek in this contest. And look at the defense still getting back and knocking that pass out of bounds. Great hustle by Jordan.
And that was her hustling again. And you look at this team and Division I prospects all throughout their lineup, but they play hard, play on both ends of the court.
Knocked out of the hands of the Tigers. Lexi Smullen stays with Chapel Hill. Halfway through the third quarter. Tough pass to handle. Thrown away. Knocked into the backcourt. Picked up by Smullen. Now she's trapped in the sideline. And knocked out. Stays with Chapel Hill. So a timeout in Cary. All Panther Creek on their way to a Final Four and East Regional appearance this weekend. 52-18, Panther Creek running right past Chapel Hill. We'll take a look at the NCDPS points in the paint. 14-12, the Chapel Hill advantage, but again, Panther Creek's done all of its damage for the most part outside the three-point line. They have made 10 threes, and we're only midway through the third quarter, Jay.
And what they've been able to do offensively has been amazing. But equally, on the defensive side, there's some of the basketball players from the men's team. Mari Odom, quarterback and point guard, but they're having a lot of fun over on that side cheering on this women's team who's been so good all throughout the year, and we've seen why tonight.
Tiger basketball down by 34. The foul line jumper is made by Scarlett Gilder. And now Chapel Hill trying to dial up a little bit of pressure. I don't know against the Catamounts if it's going to work, though. 3 out of the corner. A little long from Jordan. Chapel Hill ball. It maybe has happened once in this game where Chapel Hill has strung back-to-back buckets against the Catamounts. They turn it over here, and they will run. Barner out ahead of the pack. Nice finish with the left.
She's got such good toss, but that speed that she plays with, she can turn it on.
Tucker tips it out. Turnover, Sunhalter.
Never to look at Barner there. Just floats, makes it look so easy.
Another deflected pass. So Funyun got the pass inside after the deflection. Barner again.
I'll tell you what, if you play defense like this, what opponent is going to beat Panther Creek, whether it's next week or 2 weeks in the state championship?
Bucket for Chapel Hill at the other end. Eva Smith, just a freshman. Tucker. Smith gets the rebound, and here comes Chapel Hill. Yeah, I don't know the answer to that. I haven't seen Lake Norman play. They're the top seed out of the West. But it has been years since I have seen a women's basketball team in the state of North Carolina this complete. You have shooters. You have quickness. You have defense. You have swag. I mean, this is an elite, talented women's basketball program here in North Carolina. I'd put this team up against any state champions over the last, I would say, decade at the 4A level.
I think the thing that really stands out is how hard they play, how relentless they are, and they're playing like this game is 0-0 right now. Just coming out here and playing with intensity.
Laney Smith makes 1 of 2 from the NCAA 529 free throw line. Pull up by Tucker, left it a little bit short. We have been involved in sports basically our entire lives. We know how hard it is, and you know how hard it is to block out when you're blowing the doors off an opponent, to continue with that high-level effort without any drop-down. We haven't seen an inch of a drop from the Catamounts, and this is an Elite Eight game. This is not the opening round of the playoffs.
It's rare that you can play this well the whole ball game. They are playing almost perfect.
Smith makes the first of 2. One more coming from the NCAA 529 free throw line. It's such a credit to the coaching staff for Panther Creek and Danielle Sullivan, but definitely the players. You have to buy into it. You have to believe it. And sometimes it's coach speak, and players might roll their eyes and ignore it or play half-hearted. That just hasn't been the case with Panther Creek tonight. And now we get a whistle on that sideline. Danielle Sullivan is just trying to get out of the way. She felt some action coming up her way and just kind of turned her back and got off the sideline a bit. The timeout was called with 151 left in the third quarter. No smiles, though, in that Chapel Hill sideline. They've had a tremendous year. This was a team that was under 500 last year, finished 10-11, 7-5 in their league, and they were certainly hoping for a much, much different outcome tonight. But as you mentioned a few minutes ago, almost every key player for Chapel Hill is coming back next year.
And they're young. The Smith sisters, 2 freshmen, and then Laney's the junior. So all 3 of them will be back. And how special is it for the Smith family to have all of your daughters, all 3 playing on the same team? And they were just all out on the court at the same time.
Yeah, and what will that be like next year? Because that will probably be the last time that they ever had the opportunity to do that. Chance to really bond one more full season with more experience and more growth, and hopefully a deeper run in the 4A postseason.
And Gilner, number 5, she's only a freshman as well. So right now on the floor, there's 3 freshmen and 2 juniors for the Tigers. And John French, what a group he's going to have next year.
All right, Catamount basketball. Final couple minutes of this third quarter. 56-25 Panther Creek. Again, if you're just tuning in, this was a 10-8 lead for Panther Creek about halfway through the opening quarter. 17 straight points by Panther Creek, and that effectively put the game away. And they've had some other mini runs as well, led by 25 at a halftime, now by 31 in the final stages of the third. This is Barner. She's knocked down a couple of threes in the game. Battle for the rebound on the sideline. Saved by Panther Creek. A pivot to the inside, and Kirsten Smalls will head to the free throw line for the Catamounts. First foul on Zoe Smith of Chapel Hill. Never too late or too early to start saving for education. The NC 529 free throw line.
Well, and Smalls a couple weeks ago just won the indoor state championship for high jump.
Yeah.
While she's playing basketball, and she's getting recruited by Elon, UNC Asheville, other Division I programs. I mean, every player for Panther Creek has college interest and has a potential at the next level. It's an amazing group of talent that plays so well together.
It's tipped out by Jordan. (58-25). Elite 8 games across the state are not supposed to be like this. Smolin, top of the glass. Rebounded by the Catamounts. Running out ahead of the field is Tucker. Another tip pass, another steal, and another run out. This time Smalls with the finish. And Panther Creek in the Elite Eight is turning this into an exhibition against Chapel Hill. Another steal, one more time. Here comes Barner again. 6 points in 15 seconds for Panther Creek.
This is one of the best defensive games I've ever seen. Just with what they've been able to do with the press and how much trouble it's caused for the Tigers.
And you can see, I mean, the Tigers are running up the white flag. They've had enough, but Panther Creek still has 8 minutes of energy left in him. What a save to Jordan. And that pass stuffed down with 8 seconds left. But the Catamounts not giving up. 3 seconds left, a bucket, and a foul by Smalls. What a display we are witnessing tonight by Panther Creek. Who in the state is going to beat this team? Absolute relentlessness. .9 left in the third quarter. Officials chat. We have seen Panther Creek put up 8, maybe 9 points, Jay. I have to go back and look at the game clock in no more than probably 35 seconds. 3-point play, goodness. Chapel Hill doesn't even bother getting up a shot. 8 minutes left until Panther Creek heads to the Final Four. This has been a game we did not expect. Panther Creek by 42. This is a performance that we have not seen in years across the state of North Carolina. Elite Eight contests, Panther Creek has been elite. 67-25 lead on Chapel Hill. Final 8 minutes underway, and the starter still on the floor here for Panther Creek. 4 in double figures for the Catamounts, led by Madison Jordan's 20. This is Olivia Tucker, plays it inside. This is Kirsten Smalls, misses. The leaping putback is in from Smalls. 69-25. Well, I know Daniel Sullivan's Catamounts don't go very deep this year, Jay. They play, 2, maybe 3 off their bench sometimes. It's time, right, to rest your starters and lay off the gas a little bit against Chapel Hill. Another takeaway. And here come the Catamounts running the floor, tipped out of bounds by Gilner, stays with Panther Creek. I mean, I know it's not in their DNA, right? And you want to have your team, the players that got you here, walk it off, but at this stage, unnecessary. As Harmony Dixon, who did see the floor for a couple of minutes in the first half, checks back in. This is Jordan. Another one. 7th three-pointer for Madison Jordan.
Special shooter. I mean, the way that ball comes out of her hand, the rotation. I mean, she just has that look, that laser towards the hoop.
That is the 11th talk it out NC three-pointer of the game for Panther Creek. Jordan has 7 of them. Reverse layup is too strong by Lainey Smith. Catamounts basketball. They don't know any other gear, do they? Tough finish by Barner again.
She has the ability to finish in traffic. When players are around her, she can just slow down her body, has the body control, and has the touch around the rim.
And that is last touch by Chapel Hill. Abigail Beno, number 20, a freshman for the Catamounts, is now on the floor for the first time. So Daniel Sullivan now beginning to turn things over as far as her 5 on the floor look. Tucker now on the bench for the Catamounts. Dixon and Panther Creek give it up. And that one is thrown away. Running clock now in the fourth quarter. 74-25 is the lead for Panther Creek.
Well, for Panther Creek, we talked about the matchup Saturday, either Hillside or Rolesville. We saw Rolesville earlier this season against Wakefield, and that's a talented group, and Hillside the #1 seed. So whoever wins that ball game, they're going to have a tough test here with the Catamounts.
Funyun is done. Haley Hill, number 32, is on the floor for the Catamounts. Just 11 points scored by Chapel Hill in the second half. Barner is still out there, though. This is Jordan. Just lips out what would have been her 8th make. She's made 2 3-pointers in every quarter, 1 so far here in the fourth. Leaner by Gilder. Hill gets the rebound for Panther Creek. Up ahead, Barner in traffic. Can't finish that time. Yeah, nice touch around the rim for Lainey Smith.
Good job. Again, fighting through the pressure, the double teams tonight. She has that ability with her height, her talent. She's had such a special season, and there gets another bucket.
I mean, you feel for the Chapel Hill players, the coaching staff, the fans who made the drive over. They were expecting a tight game. Certainly, they didn't know if they'd be able to pull it out against Panther Creek. They didn't expect this. But the outcome was determined so early in this game that at this stage, I mean, they've just been sitting on the ultimate reality of a big loss for about 45 minutes now. Doesn't dull the pain, though. Nice finish on the inside by Lainey Smith. She'll head to the free throw line.
And you love to see the fight here by Chapel Hill. That's a good take for Smith there with the and one.
All right, final media timeout. 3:03 left, fourth quarter. Panther Creek on top of Chapel Hill by 45. And welcome back to Panther Creek, where the Catamounts are on their way to a regional final. Date with Destiny coming up on Saturday. Time now for a West Shore home play of the game. And Jay, it's Kristen Smalls for Panther Creek.
Yeah, defense leading the offense, and the and one. Smalls finishes, and everybody getting into the act tonight for the Catamounts.
West Shore home play of the game. Convert your old bathtub into a modern and spacious walk-in shower in just one day. Running clock now with a 44-point lead for Panther Creek. Catamounts basketball in one of the most complete games that we have seen, certainly in the playoffs over the last decade. And Daniel Sullivan, she'll undoubtedly go back and watch the tape and get ready for the regional final coming up on Saturday. I mean, you're splitting hairs to find any area of improvement or nitpicking against your team for the performance we've seen tonight. Nice turnaround by Chapel Hill.
Yeah, good touch for Chapel Hill there, but I think when she watches this film, she's going to see so many positives, and the message will be, this is how we need to play Saturday. Play the same exact way. Here's all the great things we did. Now let's make sure we keep fine-tuning our play for another opportunity this weekend.
So even with that foul, as we take a look at the points in the paint, brought to you by NCDPS, 28-24 for Panther Creek. North Carolina Department of Public Safety, be a champion for victims. So even with that foul and a delay getting the ball in, the clock still runs with a 42-point lead. This is Ava Burtz. Rebound of the Tigers. Lainey Smith still running the floor. Pass does not get through. A steal by the Catamounts as we near the final 90 seconds. And the student section for the Catamounts that showed out a lot of their athletes, males and females, and men's basketball team is here almost in full support here tonight. I'm not sure they've sat down since the opening tip. And they've been doing backflips during timeouts. They've been elevating teammates above their heads. I mean, they're really enjoying themselves And they have at least one more game to do so on Saturday.
And we covered them last year in a couple ball games, and they were in the state championship game. And what a great season they've had in program, led by Shawan Robinson.
Well, now John French, with 1:17 to go, will call a timeout. Big ovation for the Chapel Hill Stars departing. And that includes Laney Smith. What a year number 23 has had. 23 points a game. Certainly disappointed tonight with the outcome, scoring 10 against just a suffocating defense against her all night. But again, just a junior. She'll be back to play with her twin sisters again next year when they are sophomores, as Laney enters her senior year. And I know we've seen some stories and some comments from Laney over the last several months about her rediscovering her love for the game of basketball. Kind of waned for a couple of years. Volleyball became her focus. The basketball love has returned. I think a lot of that has to do with playing at Chapel Hill, playing now with her sisters, and maybe college basketball is where her college career leads. We don't know what that looks like for her. Clock still running. One more chance here for Chapel Hill. This was a 10-8 Panther Creek lead midway through the first quarter. They scored 17 in a row to effectively put the game away. And the Panther Creek Catamounts are seconds away from a Final Four appearance and one of the most comprehensive playoff victories we have seen in years. The Catamounts to the Final Four. 42-point victory over Chapel Hill. And the dream continues for Danielle Sullivan and Panther Creek.
Well, each team has had such a great season. Panther Creek will continue on to Saturday's matchup. But for Chapel Hill, brighter days ahead in Panther Creek. This is one of the most impressive victories I have seen. They've got to be very proud of their effort and the way they played.
They moved to 27-4, win their 19th game in a row. And again, only 4 losses this year, just one to a North Carolina school. That was back on December the 29th. And they are now 2 wins away from a state title, and they know it. Panther Creek over Chapel Hill, 74-32. They're on their way to the East Region Final. We'll come back. Trophy presentation with Panther Creek coming up. Well, 1 year ago, Panther Creek was knocked out in the 4th round, a 1-point loss to Millbrook. Today, they get past that step and move on to the regional final with a 74-32 win over Chapel Hill. Jay Sohnhalter is with the 10th-year head coach of the Catamounts, Danielle Sullivan.
Coach, that was one of the most impressive victories we've telecasted. Tell me about your effort and how hard your team plays.
We worked hard. They played hard from buzzer to buzzer. We knew we wanted to play fast, and they came in and executed just exactly like we wanted them to.
Do you guys make every single three-pointer you shoot? Because it seemed like, especially in the first half, you guys are on fire.
We shoot the 3-ball really well, and tonight we did, so it played to our advantage.
For Saturday, another big ball game coming up. What does your schedule look like the next couple days, and what's it going to take to get to the state championship?
We're definitely going to rest some legs, probably tomorrow, and then we'll, watch film, scout, get a game plan together, and then we'll put it into practice.
And from what we saw, you have all the pieces to bring home a state championship. We really enjoyed covering you tonight, and congratulations. And here's your high school hoops trophy.
Thank you.
Well, 3 of the 4 slots are set in the Final Four. In the West, Lake Norman, top seed is through along with Charlotte Catholic. Still waiting on the outcome of top seed Hillside and Rollsville. Here in the East, Hillside leads by 7. If they win, the top seed would take on a very impressive Panther Creek Catamount squad. Well, all of us like to take a minute to thank all the wonderful folks at West Shore Home who make these games possible for you viewers. We would also like to thank our other great supporters on high school hoops. Air Experts, Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. myspot.nc.gov. NC 529. Talk It Out NC. The North Carolina Department of Public Services. Popeyes and Tatum and Atkinson. We would also like a moment to thank tonight's participating high schools and their administrators for their continued support, Chapel Hill High and Panther Creek High School. Join us this upcoming Saturday, the regional final in the East on March the 4th. Again, your final score, Panther Creek on the way to the East Regional Final, 74-32 win over Chapel Hill. For Jason Halter and our entire crew, Patrick Keenis from Cary, North Carolina, congrats to the comprehensive Catamounts, taking down Chapel Hill by 42. Good night from Cary.
Now it's time to make my stand. Gonna show the